If you're running Google Ads for your local service business and you are getting clicks on your campaign, but you're not getting phone calls, that's what we're going to cover in today's video. I'm going to go over 5 things you can check on to try and diagnose and potentially solve the issue. So if you're new here, my name is Chris. I cover all things Google Ads and local lead generation. And if you want to see more stuff like this, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. But let's just jump right into it and I'll go over those things you can check on to figure out why your campaign is getting clicks, but it's not getting phone calls. So getting into this campaign right here, they've actually had 57 conversions in the past 30 days. Now, not all of them are phone calls, but a good number of them are. They've had 15 phone calls from people clicking on the phone number on the ad and calling them. They've had 11 form fill submissions, and then 31 people have hit the landing page and then picked up the phone and called this business. And the reason I bring this up is just to let you know that it is possible. I know a lot of people have spent a lot of money on Google Ads. They've gotten clicks, they haven't gotten leads, they haven't gotten phone calls. It is possible. This is something that I do every day for my clients. So I'm going to go over 5 things you can check on to try to figure out why this is happening and what the issue might be. Now, the first thing we have to talk about is campaign type. The campaign type that you choose will really dictate success or failure right off the bat with a Google Ads campaign. A lot of times when I see people who are spending money on Google Ads and just not really getting anything out of it, or they're getting a bunch of spam leads, they're either running a Performance Max campaign, which is this campaign type right here, or they are running a smart campaign. What we want to be running is a search campaign because this is going to put your ads directly in Google search. And this is going to be the highest quality, highest intent traffic that you're going to be able to get. And it's what's actually going to drive the best quality leads. What happens a lot of the times with something like Performance Max or smart campaigns is your ads, as you can see here, get shown all over the place on all these different platforms. And a lot of times the traffic is really low quality. So with Performance Max, yes, you might get phone calls, but a lot of the phone calls will be just completely irrelevant. So Performance Max is usually not good for local lead generation. And then on the other side of things, obviously it's not on this list, but a smart campaign, which is kind of like Google used to call them Express. They change the ad every year, it feels like. But smart campaigns are similar in a way to Performance Max, where it's just really, really simplified. There's not a lot of thought or customization that needs to go into it. You just sort of tell Google roughly what you want. And then Google pretty much just takes it all from there. And there's really not a lot you can dig into to figure out what's working, what's not working. So those 2 types of campaigns you want to avoid. You want to make sure you're running search ads. So if you're not running that campaign from the start, that could be the biggest reason why you're getting clicks on your ads, but not actually getting phone calls. So the next thing we got to talk about is conversions, and more specifically conversion tracking. If you don't have conversion tracking set up, you probably aren't seeing this number right here, or conversions down in the table over here. And it's really, really crucial that you have this set up, not only so that you can actually see what's working and what's not working, but if you don't have it set up, Google isn't actually going to learn what you want from your campaign. And if you're not letting Google know, hey, I want to get more phone calls from my campaign, I want to get more form submissions, then Google's not going to be able to optimize around those actions. A full tutorial on setting all that up is outside the scope of this video, but at a bare minimum for local lead generation, you want to make sure that you are tracking the phone calls from the phone number on your advertisement. You want to make sure you're tracking form fill submissions, and you want to make sure you're tracking phone calls from a phone number on your landing page. That is a bare minimum. And conversion tracking is going to help you do a couple of things primarily. Number 1, it's going to tell you if your campaign is even working in the first place. So if you don't have that conversion tracking set up, you're not going to know, what is converting, what isn't converting. And it's going to help you diagnose that issue. So we're talking about diagnosing, campaign issues in this video. If you don't even have the conversion tracking set up, you're not even going to really be able to figure out what the problem is in the first place. So it's going to help you troubleshoot things, figure out issues, but like I mentioned before, it's going to help Google optimize to actually send you more of what you want, which is phone calls. So make sure you have that conversion tracking set up, and let's move on to the next thing to check on. So the next thing we got to talk about is traffic quality. And this really comes down to a few things. It's going to come down to the keywords you're bidding on. It's going to come down to the match types you're using, and it's going to come down to negative keywords. So this menu that you're looking at right here is under Insights and Reports, and then under Search Terms. This is going to show you the types of search terms that your ads are showing up for. Now, if you're looking at this list and you are not showing up for things that you want your business to be showing up for, then there's a very good chance that your issue is traffic quality. Because if you, let's say you are, in this case, a pool service, or you're a tree service, or whatever the case may be, and you are seeing traffic in here that is completely unrelated to what you offer, then that's probably the reason why you're not getting phone calls. You have people clicking on your ads who are not even searching for what you offer. So got to make sure you're dialing in the search traffic. And the best ways to do that is if you come down to keywords, you want to make sure you are bidding on high intent, high quality keywords, nothing super generic. So if I were to put in a keyword in this campaign like pools or something like that, that is going to be way too broad, and it needs to have the right intent for what I am looking to show my ads for. So you can see things like pool care near me, pool service Gilbert, pool service Scottsdale, and on down the list. I'm not going to scroll through every single one of these keywords. You want to make sure your keywords are high intent and high quality. Next thing you want to make sure of is that you are using the right match types. So my recommendation is that you stick to exact match and phrase match only. This is going to help you trim down the amount of sort of irrelevant searches that your ads are showing up for. And the more you kind of trim that down, the more you focus it up, the better your search traffic quality is going to be. Then the next thing you want to layer in on top of that is negative keywords. If you go to this menu here and you are not seeing a bunch of negative keywords in here, this is going to be another very, very crucial step to focusing up your traffic. You layer all these things together and it's going to help you get the highest quality, most relevant traffic for your business and trim out as much of the waste as possible. Because if we are paying for every single one of those clicks from Google, we want to make sure that the traffic that we're getting is as high quality as possible. And this is another thing you want to check out to figure out why your campaign's getting clicks but no phone calls. Another thing you want to check on is your campaign structure. If you go into your ad groups and you just see one ad group in here, it just says ad group or just whatever the title of the ad group is, and you have all of your keywords in that one ad group, then it could be that your campaign has a structure or a relevance issue. You don't want to take all of your keywords and then put them into one ad group, because what's going to happen is you're now showing one set of ads or one ad to every potential, customer for your business. So if you are, a lot of home service spaces, you're going to have different segments of your service that you can split out into different categories. You're going to have different locations. So let's say you're a generic home improvement company. You're probably going to have, maybe siding as a service, windows as a service. Maybe you do roofing as well. Whatever your range of services are, you want to have either, its own ad group or even potentially its own campaign. You want to split those things out into their own focused groups, because each one of these ad groups is going to have keywords that are only relevant to that keyword theme. And then the ads are going to speak directly to what those keywords are about. So that way you're showing specific ads to specific searches, and then you can send those people to pages that actually make sense for what they were searching for. If there's a mismatch there, if there's not relevance throughout these different ad groups, then people are going to be less likely to pick up the phone and call. Because if somebody, let's say they're searching specifically for an acid wash service for their pool, but they end up seeing like a pool pump repair ad and a pool pump repair page, they're going to be less likely to convert because they were searching for an acid wash for their pool. They're looking for an acid wash service. If they don't see that in Google, then they're just not going to be as likely to call. So you just need to make sure all of this stuff is relevant and is lined up. And if you go into your campaign and you see everything just crammed into one ad group, that could also be another reason why your ads might not be getting phone calls. And then the last thing we can talk about really ties into the conversion rate number over here. Conversion rate is super important. This is the number of clicks that convert into a lead on your campaign. So we want this number to be as high as possible for our campaign, because that means we're going to cut down our cost per lead and get more leads as a result. And the way we boost this up, outside of all the other things I talked about, one of the best things you can do is send your traffic to landing pages, or at the very least, send your traffic to pages that are designed to actually convert clicks into leads. A lot of times what I see people doing is they send traffic to the homepage of their website, and that is not something you really want to do in a lot of cases unless it's designed very, very specifically and very intentionally. Now, this right here is a quick example of a landing page. So landing pages are very simple. They're very focused. There's no distractions. You can't click all over the place. You want to make sure you're sending your traffic to pages that are something like this. This is obviously just a demo page, but it needs to work well on mobile, needs to have reviews, needs to have services, just essentially all the information somebody would need to make a buying, or at least just a decision to give you a call, pick up the phone and call you. You need to make sure it's all on the page, and it needs to be mobile friendly and easy to interact with, because a lot of times people will send all of their traffic from one ad group to the homepage of their website, and then the user gets to your website and they don't really know where to go. They don't know if you can solve their problem, so they don't even end up calling. So you want to make it very simple. So if somebody searches for pool pump repair, you should show them a pool pump repair ad, and then it should go to a page that talks about pool pump repair. That's going to help you get more relevance, more phone calls, and you just do that on down the list for your campaign for your different services. Same kind of idea where I was talking about before, where if you're a general home services company and you do a lot of different stuff, you don't want to take people who are looking for siding and windows and roofing and whatever and just send them straight to the homepage of your website because they're looking for a specific thing. You need to make sure those people are seeing what they searched on the page. That's going to make them more likely to call. So that is one of the biggest things that I can recommend for any of this. Make sure you're sending traffic to landing pages or at least specific pages that are relevant to what people are searching for. Because if there's a mismatch throughout that whole process where, like I was saying before, if they're looking for one thing, you show them one thing, but you send them to another different page, it's going to break that chain. They're not going to be as likely to call. So those are just a handful of things you can check on to see why your campaign is getting clicks, but no leads. So that is it for this one. Hopefully you got a little bit of value out of it. You take those 5 different things that should point you in the direction of figuring out why your campaign is getting clicks, but not getting leads. If you got some value out of it, a like and subscribe is always appreciated. If you are somebody that wants to DIY all of this for yourself, in the description below, there's going to be a link over to a free Google Ads course here on the YouTube channel. But if you are somebody who watched this video and you realize that you don't want to deal with any of this and you'd rather have somebody like myself diagnose and manage and optimize your campaigns for you, in the description below, you can click a consultation link. You can fill out a form. It'll get sent over to me. I can see if I can help you out. And if I can, I will let you know. But that is it for this video. Hope you got some value, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.